We've had Russell Wilson in the fold for a couple weeks now. What are the conversations been like with him, even over the phone, about this offense and how to proceed?
Yeah, I think right now it's just really been about getting to know each other. We don't talk really much football. We're going to save that for April. But I think right now it's just kind of getting to know each other as people, as fathers, as husbands. And so I think it's just been a great time.
What are the coolest things you've learned about him that maybe you didn't know 2 weeks ago?
Gosh, I'll tell you, he's an intense guy all around. And, you hear about how much he loves his family and how, into the family he is. And, I mean, it's facts. I mean, this guy, just from supporting his sister, playing basketball, to how he is with his wife and kids. I mean, it's awesome to be a part of and watch.
What do you need to get done during the offseason program to have it be a success for you?
I think right now the biggest is kind of learning the language. Everybody talks about the language of the systems, and it's like learning any language. There's a lot of different things that go into it, and you want everybody to feel very comfortable to be able to enter onto a field and be able to execute and adjust. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing we have to do, is just make sure the guys understand all the different, from formations to protections to runs to the whys of everything that we're doing, so that we can get rolling.
When you prepared for San Francisco in the playoff round, what stood out about Jones inside and also Williams at the nickel?
Yeah, Jones and Williams have given us nightmares for the past 3 years. So I think that I definitely, after talking with George, wanted to go back to all the people that were very difficult to go against and that you were very frustrated to go against and you had to have a plan for. And so I think that's why they're here, is because, Jones would demolish everybody. He was a game wrecker inside there, and it's hard to find those guys on the inside that can get that push and penetration. And he's fantastic. And then K1, man, he's a dude. Just the type of guy he is in the locker room. What he brings from a veteran standpoint, and then his ability to tackle and blitz is really exciting to have on this team.
Same kind of question for Randy Gregory. Do you still see him as an ascending player?
Oh, without a doubt. He's a guy that's, to be able to put him in a two-point stance and be able to use his vision and then all of his power and speed is going to be exciting to watch.
We saw Billy here a few years ago, and then you guys had him in Green Bay. How did Billy get better in those years that you had a chance to work with him up there?
Billy, his ability to play as many positions that he played for us is unbelievable. People don't understand, like all of a sudden going from right tackle to left tackle to right guard. That's unbelievable. And for him just to be able to do that and to never complain, never say anything, but just understand the system, understand how he can play at a high level at all three positions, it was amazing. To be able to have that from a standpoint as a coach is huge, because you can put the best five out there with a guy like that. And he's just, from his run blocking to his backside cutoffs to his pass protection, he works so hard. And he's a football guy. It's all about ball, and I'm so excited to have him on the team.
It's funny flipping sides. It was once described to me as if you go to the bathroom, try doing it with your other hand.
Yeah, it's awkward, but you get the job done. Yeah. But I'll tell you, it's again, watching him do that, and watching how easily he makes the transition, and he screams and yells a little bit, but then he goes and gets it done, which is great.
Was he a name that you brought up with Billy? Because George said you were almost a little too biased. We saw him here a few years ago, but there's a quote where he said you're one of his best friends.
Yeah.
So how much were you involved in it?
I think that, in the beginning, he was a Green Bay Packer. So I think, and then all of a sudden when the news kind of fell, I think obviously anybody that you respect, that you think is a great player and a great man, you want him on your team. And so I think that the fact that it worked out the way it did is awesome for the both of us.
How do you kind of see the different position battles shaping up there on the offensive line? You had quite a few guys. You got a lot of talent there.
I think right now it's early, and everybody knows that they got to compete. Every single person's going to have to come in there and show that they can learn the system and understand what to do, and we'll get the best five out there.
Is Compton going to compete at tackle and guard, or is he going to?
We're going to throw everybody everywhere. The one thing that I've learned in the past, I think last year we had we probably had 10 different combinations of offensive line through everybody. So it's not necessarily that people will be going for one spot. They got to train in all the spots so that if something happens, they can play anywhere and at a high level.
You hear so much about when veteran quarterbacks come in, starting to understand what they know, and you obviously have experience with this in the past, but because of your offensive system, the way it evolves and changes, what is the process of exploring what's possible with somebody like Russell instead of just sort of absorbing what he knows and has seen?
I think that, the first part is just about evaluating what I've seen on tape with him, and I've watched and gone against him so many different times. and understanding that's going to be something that's going to come up and we're going to talk about and we're going to be sure that we have in the system. And then kind of think of the things that I've done in the past with all the different guys I've been around and coached, and realize you can now kind of experiment and do some of those things too. And then it's about the two of us just kind of making it the Bronco offense and everybody kind of joining in and doing all those different things. So with a guy like Russell, we can do a lot, and I think that's exciting.
Is there something energizing for him? He's seen so much football, but never maybe quite this particular style of offense over the years. And like I said, pushing it forward, not just doing what you ran before in Green Bay, but pushing it forward with him. Is that an energizing thing for him?
I think it is. I think it is for both of us. I mean, I think anytime you get around anybody brand new that loves football as much as Russell does, as much as I do, I think it's intoxicating for everybody. Everybody's excited, and what's going to happen is we won't know until we get to September.
Nate, one more on Wilson. When you were in Jacksonville or in Green Bay as a coordinator, did you come to appreciate how his team was always in the game and how much he stresses your offense? And
I mean, he's just been a guy that, he's another nightmare guy. You go against it, and you're always going to need more points, even if there's 2 minutes left and you're up by 2 touchdowns. You have to feel like you have to keep pressing it, because when you have a quarterback of his caliber out there, it's never over till it's over.
What did you like about Josh Johnson?
Oh, I love Josh. I've known Josh for a long time, and he's just a pure veteran. And a true professional, and I'm excited to have him in the room.
Baron Browning, why do you guys want to get a look at him on the edge based on what you've seen already?
I think, again, it's kind of like the offensive line. You want guys to try to do as many different things and find out where they're best at. And then at the same time, he's going to have the flexibility of being there and being inside linebacker. So, as much as you can, get people experience at different spots, because you never know what's going to happen during a game.
Have you figured out the logistics yet of on game day, Clint, Justin, and you, which of those guys would be in the box, who's going to relay the play calls to Russ, that sort of thing? How do you go about that?
Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. I'll be giving the plays to Russ during the game, for sure. And then from there, we're just kind of working through exactly what's going to fit the best for us.
You've been around Coach Everill for a long time, not in the same spot for a while, but when the players get in, what's going to stand out about the way he installs his scheme and communicates?
I think that they're going to really appreciate his knowledge, and they're going to really appreciate just kind of the person that he is. I have known him for a long time, and watching both of us grow in this profession has been something that we're both really lucky to have watched and witnessed. And I just think the way that he gets up and the way he presents himself, how serious he is, he'll call you out for anything just like he calls me out. I think that's one of the great things about having him on the staff, is I can't get away with anything either, and that's all you can ask for.
What's your daily routine like right now? How early are you getting in? Even though it's the off season, how many hours do you have to put in on a daily basis?
My family's not around. They're in Green Bay, so and I miss them, and I love being with them. I'm so happy that they're here. But when they're not around, I don't know. I'm kind of at the office the whole time. Nowhere else to go. You just want to keep doing football.
Sun up to sundown and beyond.
Just want to keep working on football. Just so lucky to have this opportunity.